We are in the, in the drink section.
My favorite section.
And we're specifically here in the beer section. Now, to talk about beer in Germany is kind of a difficult task because Germany, as of 2019, has right around 1,800 breweries. And each brewery, I would say, on average, makes like 5 to 8 different beers. I think that covers it. So go ahead and do the math, okay? So it's
a lot of beer.
It's a lot of beer, definitely. Yep. So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about the just the main kind of beers that we have, and we start with the Weizen. This seems to be one of the most popular ones among Americans. This here is an example for a Paulaner Hefeweizen beer or Weissbier. This is a beer that is, when you look through the bottle, you see it's cloudy because it still has the yeast in it, okay? So that is a very, very, I would say it tastes kind of fruity beer, not bitter at all, very convenient taste. We have the same actually, let me put this down. This should be the Crystal. This is actually the same beer, just filtered. So it's crystal clear, see-through, and the yeast is filtered out. And then the next one would be the dark one, the Dunkel, has a bit more of
a
bitter taste.
Yeah, a little bit closer to like a Guinness kind of.
Yes, I was going to say like more in the direction of Guinness, like a stout maybe.
Yeah, it's not a full meal like a Guinness, but it's a little bit more bitter than the sweet white beer.
And it is dark brown.
And that one's very good. If you haven't had that, it's a very different taste than you're going to find in the States, and it's really good. Right.
Now, we also have, it's kind of a nuisance, alcohol-free Weizen beer, right? I mean...
That's not my thing.
Yeah, yeah, I mean...
But if you're pregnant...
So?
It's better than nothing.
Well, okay. And then, maybe you want to talk about this?
This is a white beer that has lemon already in it. So white beer is really good if you put lemon or orange in it, and this one already has it in there.
So it's kind of a Radler, isn't it? Like a Weizen Radler?
I guess that's not I'm more of the dark. Yes.
Do you like the dark beers?
I do like the dark beers, yes.
Well, yeah, this is kind of a refreshing drink. It's basically a Radler, but made with Weizen beer, okay? So let's move over to the other kinds of beer and I'll show you some more.
So in the next section of the beer aisle, we have a lot more Hefeweizes and we have a lot more fruity kinds of drinks. So one of the things you'll find in Germany is if you go to a restaurant, you can get a Weizen beer mixed with a cola, and you can do regular cola, you can do Sprite, you can do orange. I think grapefruit and orange are also popular.
Or apple. This is grapefruit, this is apple. At first it sounds very strange, to say the least.
Yes.
But I urge you to try it. It's actually really good.
Yes. This is one that I've enjoyed. It's the cola and Weizen mix. I will say, though, that these aren't best enjoyed out of the container. They're best enjoyed out of the appropriate beer glass.
Right. It's not Weizen, it's just regular beer.
Oh, this one's regular.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yep. And
then the other thing they have in this aisle is pills.
Okay. And then, of course, the export. The difference between pills and export is, in short, the pills is a more bitter, it has a higher hops content. The export actually is lager in the States. Has a bit of a higher alcohol content. Pills usually 4.9, export up to 5.2%. It's a bit more potent. They used it as a preservative. They used the alcohol as a preservative to ship that over to the U.S. in the time of the sail ships. So that's why we call it export beer. You call it lager for storage, after the former German or old German word of lagern, to store.
Right. And if you're from the Northeast, this is going to be the closest to the microbreweries up there. Yep. And then Radler. Yeah,
Radler. This is what we talked about when we were over at the Weizen aisle. This is standard beer with, often it is not pills, it's lager actually, because it's less bitter, with lemonade basically. We call it Radler, and it's around 2.8% alcohol. Super refreshing in the summer on a hot day. If you don't want to get hammered drinking, a whole crate of normal beer, you can drink a whole crate of the Radler and you'll be fine, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so definitely worth trying.
Yes. And then one thing we talked about in our Intro to Germany video with the beers is be careful with the alcohol content on the beers. You've just heard everything from about 2% all the way up to 6 or 8%. In the States, it's pretty regulated how much alcohol content can be in the beer. It is not here, so just be careful. If you're having a half a liter of beer, it could be the equivalent to a half a liter of wine.
Right, and people always say in Belgium you have the doubles and the triples, and you lack that in Germany. Not true. The reason why they are harder to find, it's such a variety of beer here. But we have the Bock, B-O-C-K, or double Bock, which are very close to the doubles and triples alcohol content, up to 12%. That's the highest an unfortified beer can actually have.
So the next section is the cans of beer. There's not a huge selection of cans of beer, but they do exist, especially for taking them to the pool in the summer.
Right, yeah, I mean, you find even this here.
Heineken?
Yeah.
Heineken's,
No. And well, canned beers. One of the beers that I want to introduce to you is actually not really a beer. It's kind of like a malt drink, and that's actually for kids. Several different companies make it. It is a malt drink, like I said, does not have any alcohol, but it's really, really nutritious. So if you want to put some meat on your kids' bones, that's definitely worth giving a shot.
and they taste like malt sodas back in the States.
Correct, yes. So, and if you, like me, you like larger quantity cans to take to the pool, we also have them here in 5 liters. Convenient, you don't have to use any drafting thing, like a machine or so. They come with their own thing, so straight from the can in your mouth. You can skip the whole glass thing, you know?
That's a pretty, but it's hard to do a keg stand off of this one.
Well,
So you have to do like a funnel.
no, I mean, see, that's why there is conveniently, there's a hole there
On the
where
top.
you can put a straw in, and then, you know, when you're at the pool, you just, you know,
Just a
like,
long straw. There you go.
that works, you know?
All right. So how does the fond work on these?
Those are not with a deposit, so those go straight in the yellow sack, done. The other cans, as you can see right above the barcode, has the fund, the deposit symbol. That's 25 cents.
All right. And then the bottles are either 8 cents or 15 cents depending on the bottle.
8 cents usually.
8 cents usually. And then the crates also have a fond on them.
Correct. I believe it's 150 or so.
Yes.
Yeah.
For a whole crate.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, plus the bottles, of course. So it averages like €3 something.
3.25, I think, somewhere in there. Yep.
Okay, well, let's move over to the specialty beers.
Correct. All right, here on our last stop for the beer section, we are in the international and specialty brews. There's lots of IPAs, pale ales, Belgian beers.
I think even French beer.
French beer too?
That's probably
the
so.
French make beer?
Yeah, but let's not talk about that.
Oh, okay.
And British beer, Irish beer, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely worth checking out. Some awesome specialty beers. One note on the beer: there's a misconception. A lot of people believe you have to buy the beer by the case. That is not the truth. You can actually buy individual bottles. You can even make a mixed crate. The only thing we ask you to do is not to pick just a random crate, empty it, everywhere in the store, and then make your own mixed crate. What you should do is ask an employee for an empty crate. They will give you one, and then you can make a mixed crate, like a sample crate. That's actually my recommendation. If you're really new to Germany, go ahead, get yourself a 20 or 24 crate, fill it up with 20 or 24 individual beers, and try which one you like best.
Yeah, there's lots of beers, so.
Exactly, and as a matter of fact, 24 beers or 20 beers is capable. You're capable of doing that in one night, one sitting.
Yes, of course, obviously. So if you have a crate, you can just take 1 beer or 2 beers out.
Correct.
You can take the whole crate.
Correct.
If you have a crate with a 6-pack in it, you can take the 6-pack out. You can take 1 beer out of the 6-pack, or you can take the whole crate.
Yeah. Or you can buy 60 crates. Hey, supply for a month.
Correct.
Right.
So, and then there's also half crates and whole crates.
Well, let's look at a half crate here. It comes out of the off. That's what's called a half crate, and they come conveniently, as you can see, with a handle here. So you could take a whole crate apart and then make a half crate. What's the point?
I don't
10
know.
beers.
Maybe you go shopping every day and then problem solved.
Yeah. So anyway, if you want a half a crate, or you want it's more convenient to carry, like if you hand me the other one.
That's funny.
Thank you. It's heavy, right?
It is very
So
heavy.
see, I mean, that's like
That's getting your workout in. You don't have to buy dumbbells.
exactly.
That's
right,
been a
yeah.
problem. Problem solved. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, show off.
Oh. All right. Thanks.